Exiting the Republic's 3rd Fleet airspace. Disengaging stealth shards.
Decrypting unofficial code from the Papal Guard. Assembling wide-range clairvoyance network.
Dealing with them's gonna be a real pain in the rear. But whether we like it or not, we have to cooperate. We'll need to keep clear of the military, by the way. I know we've got that whole non-intervention thing with the CID, but it's best to be safe.
Understood, Father Kevin.
Expanding stealth shards to match trajectory and speed of both aerial forces and ground divisions.
I see. So this ship is compatible with some of the latest technology. Specifically, the most up-to-date Epstein terminals and Zypha models.
Didn't realize you were so high up the food chain. I mean, I knew you were a Dominion, but...
Yeah. Think it's only just hitting me what a big shot you are.
Yeah, well, here it is. Testament to my high standing, the Merkaba, the Dominion's personal airships that work in tandem with our stigmas. Kinda sad to leave behind all the memories I made with the old ship, but they've been asked to make the switch to these shiny new ones. That said, this is only the trial model. Just got rolled out, too. So we're kinda taking it for a test run right now.
The originals were so adorable, though. Kind of reminded me of big slippers.
Slippers, huh? Well, if you ask me, I think this new design's cool just the way it is.
Cool or not, I think we have more important matters to consider. Like how much this thing could sell for. Maybe you could give us an estimate, LP?
With all the new tech and the alloys used on the hull, I'd put the construction cost at approximately 5 billion Mira. And if you include the engine, which is likely an artifact of some sort...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! No need for the in-depth analysis, thank you! And where'd you even hear about that anyway?
Well, the Church has been using artifacts as engines since before the orbital airship was developed, right? I only came to the most probable conclusion.
You know, I find it rather interesting that they'd assign you a test model so soon. It speaks to how seriously the Church, or rather, the Lady Saint, is taking this matter.
You mean...
Anyway, I'll come clean. She's the Ivory Eschaton Saint, the very same saint that Her Holiness Pope Orestes has acknowledged as the one who will lead the Septian to the end. When she first entered the Republic, she did so in disguise at the age of 13. Her debut as an actress, however, was unplanned. But either way, she's been prepared to fulfill her duty for a while now, prepared to mobilize the world's soldiers, the Church, and face the end in a manner befitting her station.
I really don't like the way you keep saying the end.
Is that why she didn't hesitate to pass judgment on the professor? And condemned her to receive punishment as a heretic?
More or less, yeah. I mean, taking resources from the future to aid the present, she's violated the providence of the goddess, plain and simple. Almost like her real goal was to shake the Septian, the fundamental foundation of the world.
You mean...
Those masked people the others ran into are involved somehow, aren't they?
Be that as it may, the fact remains that the professor has been branded a heretic, meaning the task of meting out punishment is in your hands, which leads me to believe you will be confronting LaToya Hamilton directly.
Correct. And regardless of how that confrontation goes, I will carry out my duty. Especially since at this point, there's no way any of this is just some big misunderstanding. And more importantly, because the professor herself seems prepared to see things through no matter what.
I have a feeling you're right about that.
These hands have sinned far too much already. There's no going back for me now.
But even still, we're not changing our stance until the very end.
We want to find out what the professor's true intentions are too.
And I'll be right there with you.
I would say the same. But seeing as the good father here has linked up with his men once more, I fear he may no longer see a use for us.
Nah, don't want to involve them any further than they already have been. This hunt is my burden to bear, not theirs. And anyway, Iscariot's spread all over the Republic, and they're closing the net on Hamilton as we speak. Which means once we've gathered all the data from their clairvoyance tomorrow, we should be able to narrow down the location of our target. And seeing as we've also got the Saint on our side, there's no amount of supernatural power in the world that'll be able to keep her hidden. Oh, and don't worry. I plan on keeping you guys on board with me to the end. So I'll be counting on each and every one of you.
Understood.
No objections here. It's not as if I've anywhere else to be, impoverished as I am.
Which reminds me, I'll be expecting a big fat bonus once we're done here.
Oh, and I want some treats from Arteria.
How about some dinner, everyone? Seeing as we have foods from all over Arteria, we should be able to prepare you some local cuisine. If that be to your liking, of course.
Oh, absolutely! And I was just getting hungry, too.
The way she acts, you'd think we never feed her.
To be fair, we haven't really eaten anything since this afternoon.
Hey, heads up. That one eats even more than Reese does.
What? Understood.
I understand these are unique circumstances, sir. But are you sure about all this? I worry it might be a bit unfair to Sister Reese to do this without her.
Yeah, I know I'm being selfish. But all I want is for her to walk a normal path in life. She shouldn't have to dirty her hands with something like this. Sorry for putting this on you guys. And for dragging you around all the time.
Oh, not at all, sir. Remember, we're your squires.
His competence and expertise are clear, but I knew it. This task weighs heavy on him.
Aren't you coming, Rufus?
Tomorrow will be a decisive day on many levels. But where, I wonder, will the stage be set?
This all just feels so unreal.
Yeah. Hard to believe this used to be the road to Cray.
I remember us walking on it too. And Nadia saying it was like we were going on a picnic.
That's right. You guys actually came here 2 years ago, didn't you?
Indeed we did. After the fallout from the Retributive Tower incident managed to settle down a bit.
Princess Sheeta? And Ashen?
Right alongside the golden butterfly, too. And our ex? Nadia, Swin, I see you finally made it.
As expected of the renowned Iscariot. Though I'm guessing your stigma in the Saint's eye played a part in things as well.
As did Sir Rufus and Lady Lapis, I imagine.
Well, well. I had an inkling back in Tharbad. But when you tossed Basil into the mix, turns out you got a lot more folks working with you than I'd originally thought. Let's see, we got Elsheim, Heiwe. Wow, even Leela from Liberl? Damn, long time no see.
Indeed. To clarify, I am acting as a representative of the West Zemuria Tech Union.
And Mint is here as a member of the Tech Union as well, then? Rather than a Thor's representative, I assume. When last we met, I requested your services regarding my Helmerd during the Retributive Tower incident.
Back when I put the finishing touches on it in the RC2's hold, right? Was pretty confident in how I boosted its output, but, I know I kinda botched the settings a bit. You didn't get too hurt, did you?
I made it out fine enough. The output display simply happened to be reversed. Nothing I couldn't fix manually. Fortunately, Professor Schmidt and Instructor Makarov managed to warn me of the issue ahead of time.
Well, glad to hear it. And you three must be Swin, Nanners, and Lappy. We never got a chance to meet 2 years ago, did we? Well, nice to finally make your acquaintance.
Yeah, likewise. We've heard a lot about you, actually.
Nanners, huh? I guess it's fine, but personally, I could do better.
Nice to meet you and all, but I don't appreciate being given such an artless nickname. Oh, I think I have a lollipop on me. Want one, Lappy? Of course I do!
I heard all about what went down in Basel, by the way. You're quite the talented young lady.
Please, that was nothing! Oh, and it's nice to meet you too, Mr. Onion Ham.
It's Kevin Graham! Kevin Graham! Anyway, I see we have Mariel with us as well. And the ever-infamous Salvatore Gotti. Thought you two were decent folks, but then I find you in a place like this?
Well...
That stings. Look, I'm just one of the people involved with the Cray Restoration Foundation. I came here as soon as I got permission to do some location hunting in the village ruins. Just trying to get close to the feelings of regret and grief that remain in this place.
I know this isn't the sort of place to be taken lightly, but because I know that something major is going to happen here, and soon... I just wanted to see this place with my own 2 eyes. The place where Dingo died. I wanted to experience what he felt in his final moments.
Marielle.
So you came here as his... No, as a reporter yourself, huh?
You really are a tough cookie, Marielle.
Well, when you put it like that, there's not really much more I can say, is there? But I bet you folks use that as an excuse to come along and set up this roadblock for us here.
That is correct.
Seeing as the Republic's military has put this area on lockdown, we needed a bit of pretext for coming here. But as for Heivie, a number of the victims here were from the East, and as such, we have the right to offer our condolences.
For my own part, I have been working with both Director Gotti and Marielle to help them obtain whatever they need. And that's in addition to making sure the woman our country owes its continued well-being to remains safe and sound. Fortunately, to aid us in these endeavors, we managed to procure the assistance of a few others along the way. These two women included.
Can't say I'm surprised.
The sight of an unspeakable tragedy, with another possibly just around the corner. It only makes sense they'd be here.
Nadia. Swin. This is simply the job I was hired for. My apologies, Kevin. Personally, I don't wish to cross blades with you, but I'm in a position where I'm unable to do otherwise.
No need to apologize. Just glad you found a way to walk out in the light. But as for why the Society's number 3 is here, honestly, I don't even want to ask.
And you're just standing there like we're meeting for a tea party.
You're acting independently at the moment, just like the direwolf, aren't you? It's rare to see you not working alongside the Oathbreaker.
I'm simply here keeping an eye on the President's plan. I suppose my primary objective is to uncover the aim of the masked individual's sponsor, which I intend to do. Although it seems both Campanella and Walter have managed to obtain front row seats to that show in particular. Nevertheless, just as I was wondering how I should go about my day, the princess and the young lady here contacted me.
Consider it thanks for helping us out with Tao. After everything that happened back then, I'm glad I reached out to you and built this lovely working relationship.
Heard you were pretty out of it back then, Ashin. Glad everything turned out all right.
Kinda weird that the Society has their fingers in so many pies. But anyway, if what you're saying is true, then we'd better be prepared for the worst.
Agreed. Especially since, as far as I can tell, your objective here is not to stop us. Rather, you were hoping to use us as a test of your convictions.
Huh?
That is correct. We figured the decision on whether or not to stop you was best left to those ahead. However, as someone who lacks a duty of her own, the tragedy that lies beyond is too heavy for me to lament. So, could you please allow us to see for ourselves? An unseen, unfathomable design, capable of shaking the very planet itself, is moving forward as we speak. We want to know if we have the right to be here when we witness the fated moment occur. And given that you all seem to have found your resolve, I hoped to borrow your assistance in determining our own.
I get what you're saying here, but this ain't a place you can just casually stroll into.
That's true. The victims' families still haven't been able to visit and grieve for their loved ones either. It's something that's been bothering us for a while now, too.
Yeah, so in that sense, I guess you could say we're in the same boat here. I don't know if I entirely understand, but we're going to fight so that you can face what's ahead. Is that right? Well, in that case, I'll lend my support.
Indeed. Sometimes something like this is necessary to move forward. I would appreciate your aid, Lapis.
Please let me bear witness with my own eyes as well, so that I can preserve Bingo in my memories.
I want to see things through myself. Then I can make a film that not only pays respect to the victims, but helps others move past the tragedy.
Perhaps it's a bit presumptuous of me to represent Liberl in its entirety,
but I would also like to stand alongside the others here.
And I know I'm from the Empire, but I'm here today as a proud member of Force.
Nadia, Swin, Lapis, I apologize, but I will not be holding back.
After all, we are going up against a dual-wielding Dominion and the Blood and Iron Chancellor's former Governor General. I will face you as though I were fighting the Oathbreaker. Or perhaps even McBurn.
Hey, don't you think you guys should take it down a notch?
Personally, I'm honored by their enthusiasm.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
RX, Golden Butterfly, let's do this!
In that case, everyone,
Let the battle begin!
Closer to his level.
And that's a wrap.
That was too close. Like, way too close.
Knew you were a tough cookie, Risha. But I had no idea the Golden Butterfly could go so hard.
You as well. I can certainly see how you managed to bring the Faceless down.
Well done, Swin, Nadia. And as for Lord Rufus, you are as strong as I had expected.
Please, there's no need for titles. Just like with your breathtaking dances, I can tell you've reached new heights in combat as well.
Agreed. Everyone was so impressive. Especially you two. Your support techniques were simply impeccable.
Not that I don't appreciate the compliment, but I've still got a long ways to go. Maybe I should have had Cao to teach me. And not just Baba and Yeye.
you were amazing as well, Lapis. I believe I've come to understand how you were so capable of sealing away the divine lightning. But that's beside the point. I suppose we must now step aside, yes?
Come on, there's no need for there to be winners and losers here. We're glad we got the chance to test ourselves against such skilled fighters.
And plus, I still owe you for helping me get S back. And I guess all that training you gave me. Thanks, Big Sis.
Oh, please. I know I'm far more of an auntie to the likes of you.
Thank you. I can see you've both grown much stronger.
Anyway, I think it's about time we put this issue to rest. And by that, I mean we're all ready to face whatever's coming head on. Wouldn't you agree?
Sounds right to me.
I am grateful for your generosity. And now I can finally pay my respects.
With your permission, I too would like to offer a prayer, particularly as a citizen of Liberl.
Maybe I should have brought some flowers.
Think we should let the families of the victims leave flowers before any of us do. And considering the place is still blocked off.
Right. But we can at least offer prayers.
Well, then, everyone, we should press on now. Into the remains of what was once the most beautiful village in all the Republic. Cray Village.
Measuring radiation levels. Radiation levels currently below standard values. At present, a 200 arch radius of your current position is safe.
That app measures radiation levels? That's correct. It was developed by Professor Erica Russell. Would you like me to send it to your Cyphus as well?
Oh, now that you mention it, I think George gave me something pretty similar.
That would be much appreciated, Leela.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe I am different. Sadness, loneliness. I don't think I feel these things the way they do. LP? Oh, coming!
If possible, I'd like to...
Huh? This is... white flowers? Fields of buckwheat?
Come on, you two! Hurry up already! Hold on a minute, Lashkar!
Are you coming too, Nero?
There's no mistaking it. This is Cray Village. Initiating search using the standard Orbital signal, the wireless Orbital network, and Marduk satellite communication. Detection from all three. Now executing anti-hacking diagnostics. No errors detected. No errors detected. No errors detected. Confirming current time and location coordinates. Year 1208 of the Septian calendar. October 15th, 11:45 a.m. The Calvard Republic, Vichy County, Cray Village. Rufus! Nadia! Swin! Even Kevin's gone too?
Oh, found one! Try catching it yourself, Kent.
I'll give it my best shot.
Be careful, you guys. You're gonna get soaked if you fall in.
Are these the same children I played with before? Wait, yes! Annie, Kent, and Lashkar. This point is a little more than a year since I last saw them. But they grew so much.
Oh, hello. Are you a traveler, miss?
Hey, you're barely any older than I am. Wait, have we met before?
Now that you mention it, those eyes of hers.
Oh, I remember. You played with us last year.
Am I dreaming? I'd never been to Cray myself, but it's exactly as Dingo described.
Huh? Oh, hey! Another lady?
Lapis?
What are you doing here, Marielle? And where's everyone else?
I don't know. But, this is Cray Village, right?
What's going on here?
Are they tourists, maybe?
Sorry for the commotion.
It's just like when we looked into the past. Or, no. This might be...
Oh, there they are.
Lapis, where were you?
Everyone.
Were we dreaming?
We were so worried, LP. I mean, you just up and vanished on us out of nowhere.
We split up to look for you two and everything.
Yes, everyone was quite worried.
It was as if you were both spirited away. What exactly happened?
Well...
Let me take it from the beginning.
October 15th of last year. So, about 9 months ago.
Roughly 1 month before the bomb went off.
And you and Mariel went back to the past at the same time.
Is that even possible?
I suppose it could have been some sort of illusion. But I still have everything in my log. The kids' voices, the way they breathed. It was all so real. And now, they're gone. I think I'm finally starting to understand.
I see.
RIP. Well, at least Lashkar's okay, right?
A silver lining for sure, though it took him a while to see it.
Well, yeah. And that one engineer was saved too. It's 11:55.
That means there's only an hour before the launch. The broadcast should be starting soon.
Probably as good a time as any then.
Headed off, are you?
Yep, to the top of the hillside, where Fairy and the others went last year.
We want to try talking to the professor before the launch.
By the way, I saw a white light coming from the hill right before I shifted into the past. I have a feeling it was the replica.
If that's the case, then those colleagues of hers are almost certainly waiting for us up there.
I imagine so are the pair from Elsheim and the two Dominions.
I didn't get to finish what I was saying before because of what happened. But, if possible, could you take—
Sorry, but that's...
Well, I don't see why not.
Wait, really?
Rufus?
Back in Tharbad, we promised we would inform her of any new information we came across.
I promise we'll let you know as soon as we find anything. You'd be okay with that, right, Kevin?
Yeah, fine. Like I could ever say no to a cutie like you.
And with the launch on the horizon, things seemed to be growing increasingly unstable. Then, amidst all of our preparations, not only did Lapis visit the past, but Marielle did as well. There must be a reason why. I can't say for certain whether or not she's meant to stand in Dingo's place, but I believe she has the right to be present for what's to come.
Can't say I disagree, but... Fine then. Marielle Aimee, you can come. But you better be prepared to keep your eyes trained on the truth, even when you want to do nothing more than look away.
I am. So please, take me with you.
Then it's settled.
And given our current group, I doubt we have to worry about keeping her safe on the way there.
We'll be right by your side, Marielle.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Doesn't really feel appropriate to tell you lot to give it your all, but at the very least, make sure you don't walk away with any regrets.
Take care! Oh, and remember, the launch will be happening in the southeast, okay?
We shall await your return. May Adios be with you.
May the Heavenly Mother guide your way. And Risha, I'm counting on you.
Of course.
That you all head forth on this day is most assuredly Arusha's will. I'm sure there's a role that only you can play here. You who have glimpsed the darkness of the world and chosen to press on regardless. And I believe that could be said of the professor as well. Please, say what you need to she who knows what fate awaits us.
Your Highness. Yeah, we will.
My word. I get the feeling you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, young lady. Much like a certain young duchess.
Not sure I'll be able to live up to your expectations, but I plan on seeing this thing through on my own terms.
sort of prayer for the people of Cray, perhaps?
Thank you, everyone. I know my musical talents leave much to be desired, but I am nonetheless grateful that you allowed me to finish.
It was nothing. I mean, considering we can't even offer flowers.
It was the very least we could do for the victims. If anything, I'm grateful you gave us the chance to witness your tribute.
And I imagine you all feel much the same.
Yeah. I was struggling to think of what kind of prayer to offer on our way over.
If I'm remembering correctly, that was a song by Dominique Lanster, the famed singer of days long past.
That's right. Though it's also occasionally sung as a hymn during Mass.
Yes, a song about a mother passing down her feelings to her daughter, who then inevitably does the same. And though Dominique did indeed bring this song into the wider world with that lovely voice of hers, it was originally a creation of two others. You see, the melody was arranged by the artist and revolutionary Aramis Gainsbourg. And as for the lyrics and composition, they were written by none other than Sheena Dirk, who also happened to teach Dominique the art of chanson in her final years.
What?
Sheena Dirk? Like, from the history books?
The woman who helmed the revolution. Also considered to be the founding mother of the Calvard Republic. I'd heard she passed away at the age of 80, which would have been roughly half a century ago.
From the sound of it, the two must have been on awfully good terms, yes?
They were. At the time, Dominique had no family to speak of. She resorted to theft daily in order to get by. It was Sheena who managed to open her heart and lead her down the path of music. However, there was one other who showed Dominique an alternate path forward, which is how she ended up living two separate lives, one of fame and glamour under the spotlight, and the other righting wrongs from the shadows.
The Phantom Thief Grimcat. To think that was how it all began.
Putting that aside for the moment, I think the only people you haven't met here are me and Rufus, yeah? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Kevin Graham of the Septian Church.
And I am Rufus A. It's a pleasure. Though I imagine, considering our involvement with the Retributive Tower, you must already know who we are.
I do indeed. I'm familiar with everything related to Elysium, from its birth to its rampage, and its eventual erasure. In fact, that very event marked an important turning point. It was the start of a new beginning, one which has led us to today.
Oh?
You knew? About all of it?
That professor from the Society seemed familiar with the incident too, but...
That's because he's been investigating the source of the Marduk tech that allowed them to break through the astral code.
Tower aside, you had contact with Sheena in her final years too, didn't you? If only because of your associations with people that knew her better.
Correct. You see, my mentor, Professor Claude Epstein, was called upon by the government to construct what would become Trion Tower. And as his assistant, I accompanied him in his venture to do so, as did his daughter, Lilia Epstein. In that sense, you could say we are all responsible for the events that took place half a century ago.
company gives a kid expensive doodads just for doing a few measurements.
A fine gift for all your hard work, I'd say. I think you should accept.
I agree. By the way, the land seems to meet all the requirements for the city plan.
Indeed it does. I'm grateful for all your help, young miss. As for the gift, what you do with it is up to you. But first, perhaps I should teach you how to maintain it.
Hey, Dominique! Can you turn into that super cool cat again?
What did we just...
I knew it. These altar cores can manifest.
Visions of the past. Or perhaps we were transported back in time in much the same way you were.
Yes, I believe so.
It's different from the Saint's Eye, then.
In all likelihood, you weren't seeing the memories of this land. You were seeing the past itself.
Exactly. The conversation you just witnessed was one held 57 years ago in the outskirts of the capital. It was the moment when Dominique received her compact, the Fantanox, from Professor Epstein. I was present as the professor's assistant, and Sheena and Lilia were there as well. In any case, you all saw that conversation in real time. A glimpse into the past, if you will, granted to you by the replica of the Genesis I designed, the Altar Core.
So you did make that device?
Yeah, well, we figured. But that said, it should be impossible to meddle in the past or the future, shouldn't it? At least if you're going by the principle of causality.
But even so, the impossible has indeed been made possible. Those vestiges included. And all thanks to President Gramhart's plan, no? The one reaching its climax as we speak.
That is correct. The President's space program, Project Levitin, an indispensable component of the grander scheme. If its objective is not achieved, then the world we know as Zemuria will face its imminent end before abruptly beginning anew. Though if our souls are not lost in that process, then, in a manner of speaking, you might even consider it a boon. However, I imagine it's an outcome many would find undesirable, which is why the President felt he had but one option available to him: solve the issue by utilizing humanity's strength and willpower. At present, I am merely keeping a watch over his work, and making sure I'm prepared for the end result, whatever that may be. Yes, after all, everything I've done was just a bit of insurance, performing experiments with the replicas that violated the goddess's divine providence, scattering Professor Epstein's Genesis all throughout the Republic, knowing full well that his legacy would fall into the hands of the evil that was Almada, and watching on in spite of that. I knew the danger that Dingo was in, and yet I took advantage of his sense of duty. And even after his passing, I continued to make use of him in order to verify the 8th Genesis's abilities, right up until the end.
No, that can't be.
Marielle.
You stood by while Ace was being used and while Lapis was kidnapped.
That's too much. Even I can't forgive you for that.
And I wouldn't expect you to.
By the way, you wouldn't happen to know how our newest enforcer managed to acquire a replica of his own, would you? Or why a certain set of armor and an intricately designed puppet disappeared from the ark?
I'm afraid I do not. Though I do know that an old friend of yours has been on the move recently.
I see. You really are quite the villain, aren't you?
Got lots of questions myself. But even so... Kevin,
I'm afraid we can't allow you to come a single step closer.
The professor has provided humanitarian aid across the world. Also, Celise and I owe her a great deal. As such, we cannot stand by and let you finish your mission.
The same goes for Elsheim. We owe her a great debt for returning greenery to our capital. Though I have my reservations about this alleged device that defies the goddess. That's something we can deliberate on at another time. For now, we'll stop you, Father Kevin.
Swin, Nadia, and the rest of your group. I ask for your leniency.
Wait, what's going on? They're being enhanced by the altar core.
Our stigmas as well?
Hey, Professor! We didn't ask for your help.
This is a matter of pride. Please leave this to us.
Much like the originals, it activated on its own judgment in response to the present situation. I believe you all should now be evenly matched, though the outcome matters little to me. 12:40 p.m. The moment is very nearly upon us now. May this all be settled by then, including my final judgment.
How did it come to this?
You've got guts, that's for sure.
We're past the point where we can afford to question right or wrong. We can only press onward.
On my name as the fifth, I declare that the heretic hunt begins now!
You shitbag!
You combined your stigma with the Saint's Eye? How is that even fair?
Curses. We didn't stand a chance, even with the replica's power.
Your Highness, please step back.
No, stop! Wait, Kevin, hold on!
We said we'd only go so far with you. If you're going to shoot first and ask questions later, then we've got plans of our own.
This is why I was against bringing you kids in the first place. Professor LaToya Hamilton, let's say we put an end to this. Even if you're not doing this for personal gain, that doesn't change the fact that you're still the enemy of Zemuria. A threat that needs to be eliminated. But I'm sure you know that better than anyone.
Indeed I do. Yourself included, given how you keep finding ways to delay pulling that trigger.
Behind us.
He's strong!
Oh my!
Swin! Nadia!
Their swordsmanship.
My. I wish you wouldn't play around so much, Professor. We may be indefinite beings, but one such as you had best be more cautious.
I didn't expect you three would show up here.
These bastards! They're the ones Arkwright fought!
New vestiges. But their aura is on another level.
LaToya! It's starting.
Understood. I'll put up a feed of the launch site.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1.
1 p.m. exactly. And now we shall see whether the sword can truly destroy the cradle.
It's Euroboros, Myroboros, Ouroboros! Ooh, I just know everybody's shaking right now, 'cause it's rocket launch day, oompies and babes! It's just been dub after dub for me these past 3 days, banging out vids on the job, expanding my faves list. And in a few hours, I'll have front row seats to history's biggest glow-up. Y'all, I think I'm gonna go feral, for real, for real. The world's about to enter its ultimate turning point arc, and I know all you Ouroboros are so here for it. I'll be live streaming the countdown, of course, so keep those cheeks glued to your chairs, 'cause peak is incoming! Anyways, I've got some IRL stuff to do, so I'ma log off. I know I said I'd never do this on cam, but maybe I'll make an exception just this once. Okie dokie. See you next stream, chat.
And now a traffic update. Currently, the autobahns between Edith and Anchorville, as well as Edith and Longport, appear to be relatively clear in both directions. However, owing to the rocket launch planned for this afternoon, the outbound route from Edith to Longlai is currently backed up for 50 Salge. As this congestion is likely to escalate and repeat on the route back this evening, caution is advised for those heading to Eastern Calvert.
Next up, we have a report on the Republican Army's joint mock exercises, also scheduled for today. The presidential office states they will be done to assist Project Startaker for a prompt response to falling debris in the event of a failed launch.
It sounds like the Air Force and Army are finally on the move now that they're just under 3 hours before launch.
Yes. Evidently, we can no longer take these joint mock exercises at face value.
Katra, Judith.
Can't blame them for getting lost in their heads after everything they heard.
In any event, time is of the essence right now. We ought to thank the good inspector for expediting our transit.
Yeah, this baby'll let us zip down south along the Autobahn. Speed limits be damned. Just gotta make it back to Edith by around 11.
The first Grimcat and the Sword Hermit who made an appearance here are also in the mix, evidently. Oh, and about that other assistant of yours. Epstein's great-granddaughter. I wonder if she's with them too.
You can explain, can't you, Mom?
Yes. But keep in mind that these are my mother's affairs. All I can offer is either hearsay or my own guesswork. This much I can say for sure, though. She, Professor Hamilton, and Agnes's grandmother shared a close-knit relationship. Nearly 6 decades ago, my mother lived in the capital as an orphan. Crime was so rampant back then that by the age of 12, she was already a habitual pickpocket and burglar. It was then that she snuck into the home of a certain somebody. That somebody was none other than Sheena Dirk, the hero of the Democratic Revolution, over 70 years old and long retired from the world of politics. She played on her piano a melody that drew my mother in, ridding her of all notions of thievery. A series of events later, the two had bridged their multi-generational divide, becoming close friends. From what I gather, it was through Sheena's instruction that my mother discovered a new side of herself as a chansonnier. Not long after, Professor Epstein arrived from Le Mans State at the Republican government's invitation. They had brought him in to design Trion Tower, during which time he stayed at Sheena's residence. In order to select and survey potential locations for the tower's construction, he had my mother, who was familiar with the capital, act as his guide. Shortly thereafter, his disciple Latoya and foster daughter Lilia also came to join him in the Republic. Though this threw my mother off at first, she and the girls soon took to one another, and before long, a site for the tower was decided. As a reward for her help, Professor Epstein gifted my mother the Fantanox Compact. If I had to guess, that little transformation tool may have been created using the same technology he used to work on the Genesees. That's likely the reason it reacts to them every now and again. In any case, my mother accepted the compact despite her hesitation, kicking off our family tradition of working double lives. As for Latoya, Lilia, and the professor, they continued to keep in touch even after returning to Le Mans State. 2 years later, however, word of Professor Epstein's death suddenly reached Sheena and my mother. My mother then took a horse-drawn carriage to Le Mans and reunited with Lilia and Latoya. The loss of the professor resulted in much turmoil, and amidst it all, my mother was tasked by Latoya and Lilia with bringing the latter back to Calvert in secret. Lilia was then taken into Sheena's household, spending several years with her under a different surname. When Sheena eventually passed at the age of 80, Lilia, with my mother's aid, learned to fend for herself at 18 and began living on her own. From then until the day Lilia left this world at age 46, she and my mother supposedly remained the best of friends. And included in their circle, I'd wager, was Latoya Hamilton, the only one of the 3 disciples who knew the truth.
Thanks, Mom. We'll hear the rest straight from Grammy's mouth.
As you ought to. Both as her granddaughter and the Grim Cat of today.
Oh, good. You're still here. I think you'll appreciate what I've brought.
Aha! Might that be?
A lifesaver is what it is. About time we hit the road then.
We'll have Giordano give us a lift back to the capital once we've made sure those vestiges didn't leave any nasty surprises behind.
We can fill Bermati in on the details too. So you guys just focus on getting to Agnes, okay?
Me? I plan on hitching a ride myself, right after my checkup at noon. Anything to vamoose before those debt collectors catch my to lend you kiddos a helping hand.
I'm still not quite following, but basically, you've got important business to attend to back in Edith, right? Safe travels. Let's hang out again the next time you're in the area, Reset.
What my asswipe of a dad does means F all to me. The Oathbreaker pulling his smarmy nose out of her crap, though? Now that was a twist.
No kidding.
Well then, with the face beneath the mask confirmed, it's my cue to pack it in and bow out. Don't take this as your reward for the 4 SPG. But I'll keep an eye on these parts in case those dregs try to pull a fast one. For today, at least.
Guy must have had some hang-ups from his old job at the Order of the Moonlight Horse. Anyway, sounds like the other enforcers are in the wings, so we'll let him play sentry in the meantime. On that note, it's a small surprise you opted to tag along with us.
Hardly. I'm pretty positive Ix already skipped town anyway. Besides, you put a lot of work in for my request. I've got to make that up to you on some level.
Yeah? In that case, the more the merrier.
A girl of integrity after all, I see.
We're happy to have the extra firepower, too.
Definitely. Right now, getting to Agnes and Ren takes precedence. Bad news, though. Both of their Zyphus are completely isolated from the network. The only explanation that comes to mind is that they're in some kind of special, signal-restricting environment.
That figures.
It's the same with Grammy. But that aside, Catra...
You holding up okay about your own grandma?
I am. Finding out Kevin has been after her all this time did come as a shock, obviously. But she has more than a few allies. And my gut tells me Swin and them have their own plans brewing. That being said, I'm not exactly accepting of everybody on her side.
Catra...
The particulars elude us. That is, until you can inquire about them directly.
My thoughts exactly. I have a hunch we'll get a chance to make contact after the launch is over. One way or another. Young and Essie are probably ready to act too, so... all I can do now is stick to the Spriggan way.
Listen to you, talking the talk.
Do allow us to assist when it comes time to walk the walk, as it were.
Yeah. Besides, this is Professor Hamilton we're dealing with. No way she doesn't have her reasons. But first, we need to meet with Agnes and Dominique and see what they know.
No need to tell us twice.
You said it. This time, I'm gonna be the one grilling Grammy for a change.
Bermati's already on the case, so a lead is sure to follow soon.
Jack and Hal caught me up a bit ago. Sounds like things have gone upside down and sideways. That aside, I was able to pinpoint the limousine that picked up Agnes and company late last night. They seem to have made their way into the presidential office in the Von Tai district, but there hasn't been any other movement since.
Sweet Helios almighty. It's just been one bombshell after another this entire call. When Inspector DeSwanee reported the Anchorville case as more or less closed, we figured that was that. But then he ordered me to work together with you. And now, here I am patching into some confidential secret share-a-thon. Be honest, I'm with the Inspector on this one. CID's gone way out of line. They've been keeping this whole ulterior motive behind the space program under wraps from not only the public, but regular law enforcement too. Putting civilians under lock and key just tops it all off, even if one of them's the president's daughter. That's enough excuse to help out a bit until the Inspector can make it back. But only within the bounds of the law, got it? I'm not looking to lose my badge here.